Welcome. Happy Mother's Day. Welcome to our visitors, our YouTube watchers, Zoom members, and mothers. We're so glad to have you. I asked this question back in the teen class. Who's the most important mother in the whole world, ever been? And their answer was Mary, Jesus' mother. And I said, well, it could have been Eve, because she's the start of it. It could have been Noah's wife, because she's the second chance we had in that family. It could be our own dear mom. And I was gonna load some pictures into this, and my computer and my printer weren't talking yesterday, and I quit. So this is text only, but you were gonna have a picture of me really and my mom. It was gonna be yeah, you're gonna, wow, he had hair. I did. Or our own, my late, oh, sweet, wonderful wife could be the mother of the Mother's Day. I enjoyed Mother's Day. I bought flowers for each of them. We're here to honor you today, and I mean this out of the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I won't date myself. The old TV show, Queen for a Day. Does anybody remember that? Yeah, I see. We got a few people that I don't want to say that what they are, but they've been here a while. They brought her down and had a chair like a robe on her, and she sat down, had a crown put on her head. They brought all of her friends back, maybe not some of her friends back. But they did this whole thing where they honored her for what she'd done in life, for all the good she'd done, all the people she'd known. To do that for the Mother's Day, I want you to think about all the good things in life and your day, and you've earned it the hard way. When I was writing this, I felt guilty. My dear sweet mom. Can you imagine me? I never stopped talking. I never asking why, but they didn't give me the answer. But then I'd say, well, why? So, poor mom. Bible mothers. Let's look at Eve the first, and that's in Genesis 4:1. And I'm going to be slow today. I haven't got any bookmarks, so bear with me. 4:1. Now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. I have acquired a man from the Lord. Noah's wife, Genesis 8. (15 through 19). And then God spoke to Noah, saying, go out of the ark, you and your wife and your son and your son's wives with you. Bring out every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. And so Noah went out, and his sons and his son's wife with him, every animal and every creeping thing, every bird and whatever creeps on the earth according to their families went out of the ark. Rebirth. Starting over. I'm going to go back to Eve because there's a really nice phrase, and I'm going to use this on my teens here. I think this proves my point. 3:20, and Noah called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. The mother of all living. Quite. There are other mothers in the Bible. Let's turn to Genesis 24. Now, This is a servant sent out from Abraham for his son to get him a wife. Isaac, I believe it is. To get him a wife. And he goes to a faraway land, back to somehow kind of family related. And he goes with jewelry and gold and silver and other, I think it's clothing. But he goes with gifts. But this young girl goes with this servant to marry this man who she's never met. She trusts him. And they go, and she gets a blessing. 2460. It'd be a page. Okay. And their sisters who nursed and his men, they blessed Rebecca. I said Sarah, excuse me, Rebecca, and said to her, our sister, you may become the mother of thousands of 10,000s, and may your descendants possess the gates of those who hate them. Wow. So in other words, you be in charge. You won't be under somebody's thumb. Quite a blessing. Mother of 10. The wisdom of Moses' mother. Exodus 2. 1 through 10. And a man of the house of Levi went and took as his wife a daughter of Levi. So the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw that he was a beautiful child, she hid him in 3 months. Well, what child isn't beautiful in 3 months? Especially if it's yours. When she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, dabbled it with asphalt and pitch, and put the child in it and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. And his sister stood afar off to know what would be done. Now, when the daughter of the Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside, and when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, this is the Hebrew children. And then his sister said to the Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse this child for you? Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to the Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, because I drew him out of the water. Quite a story. Could you put your 3-month-old baby in a basket by the edge of the river? We take a lot of faith. We've got to go to the 10 Commandments. Exodus 20:12. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. And my father used to say he lived to be 95 because he respected his elders and his mother and father. I always heard him talk so gracious about her. They didn't have anything yet. They had it all. They had love. And she cared for them. Hannah's joy in motherhood. Now, 1 Samuel 2, 1 and 2. A little background says Hannah wanted a child and couldn't conceive. And she finally did. And she was so excited. I'm going to back up to the 1 And 28, therefore I also have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to the Lord. So they worship the Lord there. And Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoices in the my horn is exalted in the Lord. I smile at my enemies because I rejoice in your salvation. No one is holy like the Lord, for there is none besides you, nor is there any rock like our God. She was happy to have a child, yet she was able to dedicate him as long as he lived to the Lord. Great joy, great love, great faith. And we'll go to the virtuous wife, Proverbs. Like I said, I'm slow. It's the last one. Still turning. Okay, Proverbs 10. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far more, as far above rubies. She's priceless. Wonderful. Proverbs 31, 30, and 31. Charm is deceitful, beauty is passing. But a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in her own gates. And that's what we're doing here today. We're praising the women that belong to this church, who are mothers. We praise you. We are happy to have you. A mother's teachings. Proverbs, we got to go all the way at the other end, 1 and 8. One and 8. My son, hear the instructions of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother. Your mother's had a lot of things. I couldn't say I hated my brother when I got mad at him. We couldn't fight, although, and it wasn't good for me to do that because he always beat me. So the mothers tell us things, and he's saying, listen to them. They're doing it for a reason. There's knowledge there. There's wisdom there. There's love there. 1:16:16. O Lord, truly, I am your servant. I am your servant, the son of your maidservant. So in other words, the mother was a servant of God. So it falls into that. Kindness. Oh, we got to go back all the way where we're at 31, Proverbs. I should have marked this one. Proverbs 31:20. Yes, she extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the. So she's not only concerned about her household, she's concerned about her neighborhood. She's concerned about her fellow mankind. We learn kindness at home, and we learn it from our mothers. And Proverbs 14. This is one that's kind of different. One. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish woman pulls it down with her hands. So your mother builds your house, but she probably also keeps it together because she can destroy it. Now, get personal. Memories of our mothers. I'm going to tell the story. when my first son was born and they got time to have that first bath, I was there. My wife was there, of course. I think the mother-in-law came over. This array of, your first one. So we had Q-tips and, I don't know, cotton balls and oils and lotions. And they went between his fingers and his toes and just, and extra towels. And we had to turn the heat up. And I mean, that was the care that they gave him. And my wife, when she was either pregnant or just had a child, she just shined. She just a little glow. She was so happy. She just loved children. She said something later in life. She says, well, when I die, I hope they give me the care of the children in heaven. Wow, that's odd, but that's her. I mean, kids, the love, the time. Can you imagine the amount of time a mother spends taking care of a child, teaching and reading to and saying, oh, don't do that for about the 30th time. Special attention, making you feel, even if you're, I was one of 4 children, but I felt special. The dearness, the love, the care. You ever, watch a woman hold a small baby in her arms, old, tender, and you made to feel like you're the one and the only, the special one, whether you were or not. That was her job. The mother's reprimand. Oh, if I hear my first name and middle name together, my head drops. Nothing. A dad could whip a lot harder, but boy, mother's reprimand stung for days. You thought about those. Let's go to Luke 2. His parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the custom of the feast. And when they had finished the days, returned, the boy Jesus lingered behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother did not know it. But supposing him to have been with them and been in the company, they went a day's journey and sought him among their relatives and acquaintances. So when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. That was after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And when they heard him, they were astonished at his understanding and answers. So when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us?" "Look, your father and I have sought anxiously." And when he said to them, "Why did you seek me? Did you not know that I must be about my father's business?" But they did not understand the statement which he spoke to them. My youngest son crawled up in the bathtub on a hot day and took a nap. And we couldn't find him. No water in it. Just the bathtub was cool. About 3 years old. And we couldn't find him. And after about 15, it was right before you go to the police. We were going to the phone. And I think my wife ran into the bathroom. And she said, "He's in here." I mean, we've been around the block. We talked to some neighbors. It was getting pretty heavy. And the first thing you did is you grabbed the child, you just held it, and but the other thing you want to do, you wanted to just, why did you scare us like this, And that's what she's saying right there. Why did you do this? It's the mother's love of her son. She's just like any other mother. She's just loves him, to protect him, wants to care for him. And he gives them the answer, but nah, they don't quite understand that yet. Oh, are you taken for granted so many times, And the best way to judge this is if you get up one and say, I'm sick, and just go back to bed. And then, nobody can get their lunches. Nobody's got breakfast. Nobody's getting out on time. They're calling somebody for help by the time you get in bed. You're important. You are needed. You are wanted. You are loved. And those of us who lost our mother already, be a sweet kiss if we got one, wouldn't it? A sweet hug to think about you, how much you love her. And that's the truth. And we go back to Exodus 20 and 12. We're to honor our mother. Now, I took some liberties here. I think I'm at that one. No, not yet. We're liberties in a minute. Those who bring up children. 1 Timothy 5 and 10. And this is talking about widows. And this is talking about widows who are going to be taken care of by the church. But it gives a kind of a status of what you want them at, or where she should be. It's 5:10. It says, do not let a widow, I'm reading 9. Do not let a widow under 60 old be taken into the number. That's where that are kept by the church or fed, and not unless she has been the wife of one man, well reported for good works. So if she has brought up children, if she has lodged strangers, if she has washed the saints' feet, if she has relieved the afflicted, if she has diligently followed every good work. This is a qualification of the widows to be taken care of, but it's also a qualification for mothers. A good mother. Now we're getting to where I took some liberties. Who puts tenderness in your life? The gentleness, the kindness. 1 Thessalonians 2:7. Paul's talking about our conduct, and our conduct about how we're supposed to treat each other. But what does he use as an example? A mother. If we were gentle among you, just as a nursing mother cherishes her own children. The care, the love, the tenderness, that's how we're supposed to conduct ourselves among each other. As a mother. Well, I really took some liberties on this, but we'll get there. Thank you. I didn't say that enough. And there isn't a person in here that's their mother's gone that wouldn't say, thanks, Mom. Because you say it, but they're so worthy of it. And we're going to read 1 Thessalonians 5. And this is about the people in our congregation or church who are elders or deacons or teachers. And I thought, well, today we're going to make it apply to mothers who teach their children. Verse 12. I urge you, brethren, to recognize those who labor among you and who are over you, that's the elders and deacons, in the Lord, and admonish you. To esteem them very highly in their love for their work's sake. Be at peace among yourselves. Now we exhort you, brethren, Warn those who are unruly. I thought of my when I was young, unruly. Oh, comfort the faint-hearted, uphold the weak, and be patient with all. If you could describe the mother, patient with all, I think would be the ultimate description. See that no one, this sounds like my mother. See that no one renders evil for evil to anyone. You can't do that to him. I don't know how many times I was told that. But always do what is good, both for yourselves and for all. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and everything gives thanks, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you. Thank you, Christian mothers, for teaching us right from wrong, for our love of God, for our faith, and for setting the examples. That's kind of the end of it. I'm going to give you an offering. Anybody that wants to come forward for something that they need, but we can help them. Let me turn to Acts 2:37. And now when they heard this, they were cut to the heart and said to Peter and the rest of the disciples, "Men, brethren, what shall we do?" And Peter said to them, "Repent, and let every one of you be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit." Let's read 42. And they continued steadfastly. Oh, I can't. And they continued steadfastly in the gospels, apostles, doctrine, and fellowship, and in the break bread and prayers. And then let's read 47. Praising God and giving favor with all people, and that the Lord added to the church daily to those who were being saved. If there's anything we can do for you, if there's anything that the church can do, prayers, baptism, come forward now as we stand and sing.